Representative Joyce Beatty of
Oh,
Ohio
okay, it's me.
sued against Donald Trump and the Kennedy Center board, aiming to remove his name from the iconic venue now controversially referred to as the Trump Kennedy Center. The board, chaired by Trump and stacked with his appointees, moved quickly. Just days after voting unanimously last week to add Trump to the building's facade, the new name was already installed. Beatty says she was muted during that call, effectively blocking her from voicing her opposition. So, in her lawsuit, she calls the move a flagrant violation of federal law. She joins us now. Congresswoman Joyce Beatty, thank you so much for joining us here on Roland Martin Unfiltered.
And thank you for having me today.
Yes, tell me more about your lawsuit. Can you break it down for me?
Yes, well, I filed the lawsuit naming Donald Trump and those board members who also are enabling him to do this. And it is simply, they cannot change the name. As most of us know, and I would imagine that they should know, it was changed to the John F. Kennedy Performing Arts Center in 1964, shortly after his death in 1963. It was then and still is the only memorial for him, living memorial for him. And it is very clear in the congressional statute that the board cannot do what they've done. And so I think it's important because while it is the Kennedy Center, it goes far beyond that. We witnessed what he did with the West Wing. We watched what he did to dismantle our educational system. We watched what he did with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And it will go on and on. So people must use their voices. And I am using my voice because what they've done is not legal. And that is basically what the lawsuit says. It outlines when the Kennedy Center was formed, when the name change came up, and clearly itemizes the statutes that will say to you that what happened last week could not happen, did not happen legally. And that's the most important thing about it, taking the name away from the Kennedy Center. Whether you are adding a name over top of it, it is still a name change. And here's the thing, this was done, in my opinion, far before the board even met. Because how did you get all those letters made within a day to the size and have everything ready to go? And I am sure we're going to hear when the Kennedy Honors airs uh, this week that during that taping, Donald Trump made reference to the center was going to be named after him. So it's a disgrace and it's illegal, and we cannot be silent and just let this president do things because he simply wants to do it. And then when he gets caught, he changes the rules again. And so that is why I filed the lawsuit.
Walk us back through that phone call when you felt like you were being silenced.
Well, we're sitting in the board meeting by Zoom, and you had an option. When we did get notice of the meeting, it told us that it was going to be at the home of the Winds or virtual. It did not give us the address at that time, so I didn't know where I would be going. So we checked that we would be on virtually as other members and other board members did. And so the whole meeting was, in my opinion, was less than professional. There were all kinds of complications that they were having with trying to get the president on to speak in the beginning. And they went through the agenda, and the whole agenda was about how awful everything was with the Kennedy Center and how Donald Trump had come in with his cronies and fixed everything and made it better. I want to remind people that he was also the president 4 years ago and appointed his board members. So if it was so bad, why was none of this mentioned or done or took that criminal. So we go through all of the items on the board, and then at the end, it was said that, oh, we have some good news. We're going to change the name of the John F. Kennedy Center to Trump Center. Later, they clarified it, I guess, because now it says the Donald Trump Center. And as I tried to unmute myself, because my button went to mute, you could hear and others could hear me saying, Congresswoman Joyce Beatty, I have a concern. My microphone immediately was muted. So
Hmm.
every time I would hit the unmute, it would be go back to muted. And then I actually received a message on screen saying that my microphone would not be unmuted. So I tried again to do that. I actually pushed my video picture because it had also been muted. And then there was a note that went up on the screen that said that none of the participants on Zoom's microphone would be unmuted. And they kept saying it is a unanimous vote. So I didn't get to voice my opinion. I didn't get to vote. But it's not just about that. It's about what they did was illegal. And we know this president has a history of not paying attention to the rule of law, not having respect for congressional statutes.
It sounds like they literally just silenced you. How do you still have the wherewithal to keep fighting?
Well, I think that's what we have to do. I think what they want to do is to silence people. And if we stand still and if we don't speak up and exercise our rights, we will then be enabling this president, this administration to just blatantly do what they think they can do. And that is not my nature. As John Lewis would always tell us, if you see something, say something, get in good trouble. So this is good trouble because I want everyone to know that Kennedy Center today, we saw what happened at the White House with the East Wing. We saw what happened with the Rose Garden. We've seen what's happened to employees who were told to go home and not be paid. We've seen all the lawsuits because this administration thinks that they can do any and everything they want to do. So we're going to show them we filed the lawsuit and we'll go from here.
And Congresswoman, what can folks at home do to support you?
Well, let me just say thank you. My phone is just overloaded with calls. People not only here in my district or in the city of Bexley in Ohio, people from New York, people from the South, and many people, there are hundreds of people who were appointed during the Clinton administration to the Presidential Advisory Committee for the Performing Arts. They are reaching out to me saying, we want to galvanize our voices because it's personal for them. And think about all the performers that have performed there and how they feel when they are hearing that part of this renaming is because it was shameful for many of those individuals who had received the Kennedy honors. And so I want to say thank you for all the calls, the text messages, the emails, other people telling me about things they had tried to do when they served in Congress and you could not rename a memorial. And they are thinking that this could be akin to this because what's next? The Lincoln Monument? What's
Oh,
next?
I hate to think about what's next. Bring it
Absolutely.
to the panel and hear any questions they may have. Michael Brown, we'll start with you.
Congresswoman, how are you? And happy holidays. Good to see you again.
Same here, Michael.
Um, in your fight, I know that clearly if there's some different leadership here in our country, that things will change back to normal, hopefully. Um, is Are any of the board members that you were trying to speak with, are any of them quietly talking to you, like I know some Republican members of Congress do, talk to you off the record? Are any of those board members doing
Well, because we are on break right now, I have not been able to visit with or call them, but I have talked to former member Joe Kennedy, and obviously he has made public statements. The family is very upset about this. We did have a statement from Speaker Johnson, uh, something saying that he would look into the naming. Hakeem Jeffries, Leader Jeffries, was very clear in his statement that this was not something that was legal. And I am sure there are others who are quietly having conversations about it because it's about what the law tells us we cannot do. And they have done that.
Dr. Walker.
Yes, Congresswoman, we appreciate your advocacy, not only on this issue, but a number of the issues you've been fighting for throughout your career. So thank you for that, first of all. Secondly, you mentioned Speaker Johnson, and, I'm a former Hill staffer, and it amazes me the way in which the speaker has ignored or is not familiar with or has to follow up on issues that are become national issues like this. And can you speak to what it says about leadership, or that lack thereof, as it relates to the statutory responsibility of Congress to hold the executive branch responsible for various issues?
Sure. First of all, I think that the leadership is very limited, and we've all seen that and witnessed that on floor actions, protocols, decorums. But I think the most difficult thing probably is, while Speaker Johnson is Speaker Johnson by name, it is Donald Trump and his cronies who are calling the shots. It's very clear. We will be on the floor. The speaker brings to the floor the bills that he wants to be voted on. And I'm not talking about once or twice. Repeatedly, bills will come to the floor. Democrats will prevail. Republicans will vote for us. And then actually right there on the floor, they will get into a debate and browbeating and making people change their vote. So there's very little control. And we saw that from the very beginning. The number of days we had to sit there before Republicans could even elect a speaker. And so this is what you get when you get someone that's elected by default.
Dr. Ali.
Well, Congresswoman, it's good to see you, and thank you for everything that you continue to do. I've been blessed that I've been on stage at the Kennedy Center before, but there's a lot of our folks across the country who might not understand the beauty and grandeur that's there. Could you talk a little bit about why, that you support the Kennedy Center and the importance of it?
Yes, and thank you for bringing that up, because you're right. I can even remember as a participant, not on stage like you and so many other performers, and just being in that cultural center, and a center where we've had people who look like us have been able to perform or to receive the Kennedy honors. And so I thought about, this is a blessing for us. And if we don't stand up for this and fight back, then it's going to happen in other arenas. It's going to happen with our universities. And we're seeing all of this now. We're seeing this administration pull funding from medical institutions if they put on their stage or in their arena someone well qualified, but who just happens to look like me or you. And so I think it's important because it's provided so many opportunities. It's been a springboard to other things, and one of the greatest honors to be there and have that medal put on you. And then to come back the next year and watch one of your colleagues as you're sitting with the President of the United States in the Kennedy Center, the relatively new Reach Center, which has been an amazing venue that was built in the last 4 years that allows young folks, young artists, to be able to come and have state-of-the-art equipment to perform in. And that's what I'm fighting for. It's for the future. And it is also the Kennedy family. in how the building was named, that I don't think we can just be silent on this.
Violent white supremacy is, quote, the most persistent and lethal threat in the homeland.
The greatest terrorist threat to the homeland is the homegrown violence stream, including hate crime committed on behalf of some kind of white supremacist ideology.
They are coming after everything in Black America. MAGA and Donald Trump are specifically targeting Black America. They are going after the money. Attack Black Lives Matter. Attack critical race theory. Attack woke, DEI. MAGA wants to defund Black America. This is a perfect example of their desire to completely degrade and de-emphasize Black people.